This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK. Online, on mobile, soon on DAB. This is Starr Radio UK, the leading African Caribbean radio station.
Can I have the next set?
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Are you ready, ladies? The Global Lady to Lady Conference is back. And when ladies gather together, changes happen. The Global Lady to Lady Conference is live in London at Fairfield Concert Hall, Croydon, Saturday the 21st of March. That's Fairfield Concert Hall, Park Lane, Croydon, CR9. Doors open at 9:30 a.m. for a 10 a.m. start. Register free at ladytoladyglobal.org or call 020 3983 9394.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right, good evening, and once again, welcome to the Property Hour Show live on on Starr Radio UK. I'm so excited you can see that because I've got my dude and my best friend. I call him.
Okay, all right.
So tonight is going to be an amazing night. If you're watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, also on Starr Radio UK, one word, starradiouk.com, or you can download our app if you're driving. Download the app and then listen to us on the go, or tune in radio as well. We are live there. You can listen to us on the go. You're in the kitchen, wherever you are, listen to us. And tonight is going to be an amazing night. It can change your life forever, because I know this man has been in the trade, in the business, and the industry for, well, I think he's doing about 2 decades.
15 years.
15 years. Okay, one and a half. So
there's no escape.
There's no escape.
There's no escape.
And
we can reach Bossman and the Property Hour on every platform.
On every platform. So it's amazing. And what excites me most is that the man of the moment, Josh, is in the house. And Josh will be talking to us about his strategy and what he's doing and what he intends to do. Josh is still at school. He's in secondary school. So that is amazing. If you're if you might be a grandpa, granddad, or a parent, you're listening to us, hey, I want you to share this video. I want you to share on Facebook. Connect to somebody. Let them know, family, friends, even your grandchildren, let them know that we are live. Because
or a homeless person on the street.
Oh, a homeless person on the street. Josh is saying that, and I believe that. Connect, link it, share it, and know that somebody needs to hear this. It is the best news on the Property Hour Show for 2020. It's an amazing night, because this man has got something that many people, many of us have not even we don't have a clue about what we've got to do. So welcome once again to the Property Hour Show. I'll be introducing my guest in a minute, but let me say a big shout out to my co-host who happens to be Vicky, Mrs. Vicky Newton. And Vicky, today is your birthday. I'm missing you already. You are in the studio, you are chilling out there, chillax, and basically have fun. Even though I'm on the inside sad, I'm gonna make the money whilst you are having fun. So happy birthday to you, Vicky. We're missing you, but I hope that we'll catch up soon. Have fun, and all the best to you. and also the family as well. I know you guys are having a good time. But hey, my guest is ready. But if you're listening to us anywhere on this planet, let me read the numbers out. You can write it down. Or also on Facebook Live, we have all the phone numbers that you can call into a later part of the program when the phone lines are open. You can call in too. It's 0208 133 2257 or 0208 133 2258. If you are in the US of A or Canada, there's a dedicated service. It's not going to cost you any dime. It's 001 718 303 2737. That's US of A or Canada is 001 718 303 2737. And on our let me say WhatsApp message you can send us is 075 3966 1747. On Twitter is Starr Radio UK, Starr Radio UK, and you can send us a message on our Facebook page as well as you listen to us tonight. Welcome, Paul.
How's it going?
Very well.
It's good to see you again.
My pleasure. And it's an honor to have you on the show.
Well,
and,
thanks very much for having me. I really appreciate the invite. Thank you so much.
We are so excited. And talk about Josh. Josh, you're welcome.
Hello.
To the Property Hour show.
Yeah, I'm a bit more psyched than he is, but I'm more chilled out about it. As you can see, I'm not spinning around on my chair.
You're not spinning around. No.
He's the typical 16-year-old. You know, it's like nothing phases him at all. You know?
I know, but I think as we unfold, we'll see who's going to steal the show.
Yeah, I'm going to get into my groove, and we'll see who comes out on top.
What groove?
So, Paul.
Yeah.
Tonight, we wanna, because there are thousands that are going to be watching us, that are listening, and basically they will want to know who is Paul, and basically where you've come from. Were you born into some people will say I was born into a family that we were into real estate, so blah blah blah. But who is Paul? How did you get into properties?
I guess look, it's a good question, and ultimately, I think I started life like everyone else, went to school, and then went straight out to work. Worked a number of jobs, and I just kind of felt like I wanted to be my own boss.
Your own boss.
Yeah, and I think pretty much I kind of decided that I reached a kind of point in my life where it was either it was just a case of do it now, become my own boss, or on my deathbed. I didn't want to be on my deathbed wishing that I had gone out and worked for myself, and opened up an estate agent's, or that point where I just continued to work for someone else. I thought, well, I have to know, even if I fail, I want to be true to myself and know that I can do that.
Sure.
I think back in the day I was working like 90-hour weeks.
90.
Yeah, it was insane. I was just always at work.
Seriously?
Yeah. I mean, I was never at home. I mean, actually, Joshua here, I probably we chose to start the business just after he was born, actually. So he was about 3 months old.
Neglected since day one.
Well, I was just working hard for the family. I think we all do as as family people. We want the best for our family.
Yeah.
So I was kind of working 90-hour weeks, and we kind of opened in the wrong area to start with, and we very quickly had to sort of change our plan, because we'd opened up in Lee, SE12, if anyone knows that one. So it's like
to probably
southeast London. So it's Lewisham way. Lewisham. So it's on the border of Lewisham, Greenwich, Blackheath, and what we didn't realise, I didn't know, was that people that live in Blackheath pretty much want to deal with Blackheath agents. So we were sort of tucked away in SE12, and I just realised very quickly that we were going to struggle where we were as a traditional estate agent. So by fortune, the advertising that we put out in the newspapers back when the newspaper advertising actually worked for property. We forgot to put our address on, right? On the advertising. Right, it's a true story, right?
Can we get a round of applause?
Right, so like,
Right.
I was like, oh my god, we forgot to put the address on our advertising. But actually, what happened was I was getting phone calls from all over. Like I was getting, from South East London, from Abbey Wood all the way up to Forest Hill, and I was like, okay, this is great. I'm just gonna take that. So if I can go within an hour of my office, I'm going to take that business. So it worked out really well. So actually, we were. I mean, I like to think that we're probably the first hybrid estate agent because we weren't really on the high street and we were taking business from all over and really trying to make the internet work for us. So we had to pivot quite quickly because if we didn't do that, we would have been out of business. And I think we started off only doing sales, and it was at a time when interest rates were 5%, and every 5%. Time the Bank of England met, the interest rates went up. So of course there was lots of people out viewing, but no one actually buying. So of course, and every month my money pot was going down and down and down, and we were, getting close to failing. And I was still doing the 90-hour weeks. And actually, we got to the first Christmas because we opened in stupidly again. We opened in August. Because again, I didn't really know, right? So August is dead season, right? Timing was bad. So I mean, I remember it was snowing, and I had I couldn't afford a new pair of shoes, and I had holes in my shoes, and it was snowing, and my feet were wet, and it was horrible. We couldn't actually afford to buy anyone any Christmas presents.
Oh my!
So like Tanya, who's the missus, she's also the FD. She made calendars of his ugly mug.
Just remember you created that.
Distributed that around to the family members. But I was inconsolable because we had no money. I mean we had nothing. And then we opened up lettings.
So from sales to lettings.
Yeah. So it was kind of like the last throw of the dice. I think we opened that in January. Again, not a great time for lettings, but still. And then literally we got some money in, and it started the ball rolling, and then we were just losing less money, and then eventually we turned a profit, and then we realised that we liked new build, and there was a lot of new build coming around at the time, so we were able to
Canary Wharf being
Canary Wharf and Greenwich, and actually Hither Green, there was a really good development there called Meridian South. It's obviously still there today, built on the site of the old hospital, but we picked up, we started working with Bellway, and we were able to pick up all of their landlords, all their investors, because back in the day you could have 100% mortgage back then. So of course investors were bountiful, and of course the stamp duty wasn't as crazy as it is today. So we did really well off that, and that was us, and that was kind of our ticket to we suddenly realised who we were. So then we relocated down to Greenwich, where there was a lot more new build, and we replicated that, and then we just kind of went from there really. So I've kind of scaled up, and we do a lot of business in Croydon actually. Saffron Square, we have we work with Berkeley Homes on that particular development. We have an office out in Singapore now, which services our international clientele.
Super.
And then really it was just a question of saying, right, well, we just reached a plateau, and I wanted to do something different. So I wanted to sort of look at like a private office for my investors, so we could look at sort of delivering value to those guys by finding property deals and getting them into them. So so deal sourcing basically. So private so that's kind of where I came in, and obviously, I mean, this is only as recently as probably October last year, was really understanding sort of creative ways to buy and control property actually. So that kind of brings us up to where we are today.
Yeah, it looks like we're in a new era of property or real estate, as the Americans or Canadians call it now. It looks like there's been a paradigm shift from the traditional way of just sales and lettings to a new sort of an updated, in quote, way of doing real estate in terms of the professional.
That's an interesting point you make there, Bossman, because I was in Canada recently and I couldn't resist.
I saw the video, which I was it's one of my questions, but you go on, please.
Okay, I was going to say, well, having been in Canada recently, I couldn't resist the urge to pop into some real estate agents and see if I could get some deals done, or at least make some contacts.
Yeah.
And when I explained to them what I was trying to do, which was rent to rent, HMO, which they refer to as subletting over there, the lady that I spoke to in the agency was like, she was nodding along. Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying. So I was like, man, this is amazing. She understands exactly what I want to do, and she's going to call me, and she's happy to do some business with me.
Seriously?
Yeah. So I came out of that. I was so stoked at the end of that meeting because I went in. We had total synergy. She understood what I was looking to do completely, and was happy to look at doing business with me, and hooking up, right? So I'm like, okay, fine.
Not hooking up in that way.
But no, not that way, right? But hooking up and doing some business, right?
Okay. We're going to be very happy with that
one. So then I went across the road to the realtor that just did sales and explained the lease option agreement situation, and he totally understood what I was talking about
as well.
And it kind of blew my mind, right? Because you try talking to a UK estate agent about a purchase lease option.
What?
Right, and they're like they just look at you blankly, and then you try and explain it to them, and it's like you're speaking a different language. And it's the same with rent to rents. They don't know them, they don't understand them. So it's difficult to explain to them what you want to do and why you want to do it. It is the moneymaker, yeah. No. So I would agree with you. America and Canada, I think, definitely ahead of the curve. England, I think there's a lot of people coming round to it, but I think it's still very much in the early stages, which I think is great.
Great.
It's like embryonic.
Great. Now, in terms of First Avenue real estate services.
Yep.
Now, sales and then lettings.
Yep.
Now, there's a whole shift from even 2008 till now. Has that affected you in terms of sales?
Well, you have your peaks and your troughs with any market, and what I would say is 2008, 2009, nobody was buying.
Yeah.
Nobody. In fact, even mortgage lenders weren't really lending either. Anyone that had a property was pretty much stuck with it. There was a lot of negative equity, and the lettings market just pretty much took off at that point. So actually, we were doing really well with lettings, but if we talk about the house price crash which happened because of that, we were right at the epicenter with our office in Greenwich, because we were just across the river from Canary Wharf, and there was people just leaving in their droves. They'd ring you up and say, "Look, I've lost my job, I'm out of here," and so what happened very quickly was there was a lot of empty property. So Canary Wharf, I would say, probably lost about 30% of the value of all the rents straight away. Greenwich was behind that, plus another 5%, because of course people want to live as close to work as they can. Greenwich was close but not close enough. Then all of a sudden there was value in living in Canary Wharf for those that were still working there, because rents were cheaper. Landlords were renegotiating their rents downwards.
Seriously?
Yeah, to keep their tenants in, because of course they didn't. If they were vacant, they could be vacant for months. Rents just, they just went through the floor. And there was a lot of empty property, so you really had to be paying attention and keep your landlords ahead of the curve. So then from that, we started to see a recovery. It was, I couldn't tell you exactly when, but it was probably around the time of the Olympics. Things started to pick up.
2012, is it?
Yeah, about 2012. And what happened was, literally, it went from like nothing to like
a boom.
Like boom, yeah. And the house prices went up about 30% in about a month. And the problem with that was agents were just, they didn't know how to value the property, so they were overvaluing it. But it didn't matter, because you could just open the door and you'd have 30 people walking around, and then you'd have multiple offers and people having a bun fight over it, and we couldn't even believe the prices that were coming through.
It's like storage wars on house.
Yeah. It was crazy, right? So no one knew how to value anything. So of course the prices went way up, and then what happened was they kind of leveled out when a bit of the market sort of, what's the word? A bit of reality or sanity returned, and then we were doing all right. Everything was all right. The sales market was doing great. The lettings market was doing great. Plain sailing, and then the fateful day that we voted to leave the EU.
Ooh.
I mean, I remember waking up in the morning and I just put the TV on. I was like, oh my God, we're leaving. This is bad news,
you wanted to leave?
No.
Oh.
No, I didn't want to leave. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm about, just the more people really in the United Kingdom, the better, because of course, as a landlord, but working in property, people always need somewhere to live.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a growth industry. So I mean, I'm pro EU anyway.
Yeah.
But the I think the problem was then that as soon as that happened, pretty much every sale we had fell out of bed.
On the 29th of January.
I can't forget whatever date it was. Whatever day we voted to leave.
Yeah.
I think pretty much all of our sales fell out of bed and everything lost 20% in value, literally that very moment.
But it looks like, I mean, from other quarters believe that in terms of sales, because we read a lot about the sales, I mean, property sales shooting up, inquiries shooting up. If you go on Property Wire or Property Reporter, and all those stuff, they're giving you, I don't know if it's conflicting information or where you're getting the surveys from, but how authentic, I'm not too sure. But
I think it just varies. I mean, look, area to area, it varies. If you've got a tree-lined avenue, it's going to do well no matter what the market's doing, because people want to live on that tree-lined avenue. But you could be busy in Greenwich, but quiet down 5 miles down the road. It just varies. And the other issue that we're facing at the minute is cladding. After sort of post Grenfell. There's literally it's literally impossible to get a lot of this new build stuff sold right now because everybody, the mortgage lenders require a fire report before they will lend on it now. And of course, there's not that many people that are qualified to do it. So there's a lot of places in London right now that are unmortgageable. So you might find that, I mean, but that's countrywide, right? Because all the cladding needs to be checked. So I mean, you'll always have like places like Blackheath will typically do well, but not all parts of Blackheath. Greenwich, again, if you've got your sort of Georgian mid-terrace houses, I mean, look, they're great. They go well. People always need that. But also, if you look out in the suburbs a bit more, families, they that need to move, change of circumstances. Got another child on the way, need more space.
We don't do that.
No.
Bloody hell.
Congratulations, Paul.
I'm done. but so I think I always take it with
can't do it anymore. You ain't got it in him.
I always take it with a pinch of salt.
Right.
Because I think every market is different, and it can be different. 6 miles down the road. Whether or not it's busy or quiet, and and again, there's varying different circumstances. I think overall, though, I think generally speaking, I always say the best time to buy a house is 5 years ago. So it doesn't matter when you buy it; you can buy anywhere at any time. You're still going to make money on it over the long term.
But then, if you think of it,
go on.
Remember where you were talking about how prices like 2009 went down rapidly, and then in 2012 around the Olympics they shot up again.
That was when it was picking up, isn't it?
How long since Brexit was first?
Was that 2.5 years or something, right?
And how long between 2009 2012?
Yeah, about the same distance.
That could be that property will soon shoot up as well.
Well, property's cyclical, right? So the London market typically is gonna double in value once every 10 years.
Yeah, it's a bit resilient, isn't it?
Give or take, you're gonna have those peaks and those troughs.
But now Brexit's done, and we've got everything sorted. Once people settle down, once everything starts getting moving again, people are going to be like, oh, it's not as bad as we thought. They're going to want to go back into their homes. They're going to want to buy. going to want to sell. People are going to want to move because there's more money in it.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's definitely confidence returning to the market.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely seeing some confidence returning, and I think Josh was absolutely right with what he's saying there. That's completely the case. I mean, I would argue as an investor that the best time to buy, when people are sort of fleeing for the exits, I'm backing up the truck. Because that's when you can get your best deals, because
everyone's selling low.
Well,
everyone wants to go. Everyone wants theirs to be sold. Everyone's undercutting the market.
You buy the best times to buy. Well, not the best times. What was I going to say? It's you make your money from a property when you buy it, not when you sell it.
When you pay it off, isn't it?
Yeah.
You pay it off completely.
Oh, I don't pay it off. That's probably the worst thing to do. Bossman. What are you doing? What would you do that for?
No,
Well, you're talking about like having like no mortgage on a property.
Yeah,
that's bad. That's a really terrible strategy.
That is one of the questions that is going to come up.
Yeah,
because there's the kind of questions that I have here. I've got questions about regulations, about renting in this era and all those stuff, and the ultimate will be the £1 to get you started in the property business. So we've come so I mean a long way in terms of the downturn and then picking up. Brexit, it's like a roller coaster. Now in this era it looks like regulations, like, is it June 2019 when the tenant fee ban?
Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah. So this looks, I mean, and you can check across. It looks like that fees has been passed on to the tenant.
Landlord.
So the landlord tenant fees ban was taken off.
Yeah, so the tenant fee that the tenants paid has been passed on to the landlord.
Yeah. No. What I mean is,
you mean in rent?
Bans has been taken off for tenants, so it's the landlords that are paying for the referencing and all those bits and pieces. So now where estate agents have to make their money, they are not able, or landlords that deal with tenants direct are not able to make anything out of it. But it looks like that has been passed on or added onto the rent, because the landlords are paying for the referencing and other bits and pieces, and now they have to increase. So it looks like rental is shooting up.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, I wish it was as clear cut as that. I think we were ready for it, and we were, as soon as we heard that this legislation was coming, we started putting things in place to deal with that as an agent, so we could try not to pass the costs on to the landlord. I think ALA, the regulatory body, seems to think that most estate agents will lose somewhere between 15 and 20% of their income, which for a lot of estate agents is all their profit margin.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of estate agents that are, they're going to have to pass those costs on to the landlord if they want to have a chance at survival. But again, landlords, of course, they're businessmen and they're investors, and they don't want to pay those costs necessarily.
No.
So I think as an industry, it's passing on some but not all. I mean, I think the key thing with the tenant fee ban is that the legislation is quite clear that you must not waste the tenant's time. Equally, the tenant must not waste our time. So they have, like, the tenant has a deadline for agreement. They have 15 days from when they put their holding deposit down to get their referencing done. If they don't, they forfeit their holding deposit. Now, obviously, most estate agents are going to do their best to get the tenants cleared and through. So there's a lot of maybe additional checking from the outset to make sure that the suitability of the tenant prior to going ahead and getting the deal, moving forward with the deal.
Yeah.
Because of course you can only take one holding deposit at a time as well. So if you've taken a holding deposit and someone is not, they haven't referenced up well.
Yeah.
Then you've got to get that holding deposit back to them before you can take another one, which kind of hinders the process. But ultimately, I think as far as costs go, the landlord is bearing the cost. I mean, cost of referencing, with some agents. For us, we make a 50% charge of what we
The
charge.
best radio show.
But also, the landlord still has to pay the inventory in and out now, so they have to pay in and out.
Yeah.
So there's very little for the tenant to worry about. They're not really they're not a particularly great stakeholder or big stakeholder in the property that they're getting into, because it's costing them no money now to get into that deal. Therefore, the landlord's got to make sure they really look after the tenant during the term of the tenancy, because it'd be very easy for the tenant just to up and leave, because of course you have zero deposits now as well.
Yeah.
So for the price of 1 week's rent, a tenant can indemnify themselves against paying the old 6 weeks deposit,
6
which
weeks.
of course has now been reduced to 5. So they're in a very strong position to, if they're not happy with their landlord, to up sticks and move. So it does put a downward pressure on the landlord, because whilst their costs are increasing, and of course they've got Section 24 tax issues as well to deal with, getting the tenant, getting the rent up is, it's difficult. I mean, look, everything just runs at the market average. So, it's supply and demand at the end of the day. So the price is the price. I mean, the only way that a landlord would get more money from a tenant is, let's say, for instance, the tenant, they wanted a tenancy swap. Now, the tenant can only pay £50, I think, maximum for a tenancy swap. But the reality is there's about 8 hours worth of work involved in that, and it costs a lot more money than the government are suggesting. So the landlord would have to then pay that cost, which is about £450. So the only way we would have to charge the landlord £450. But to do the new tenancy, we would have to sign a new tenancy agreement with the tenant. So, okay, if you want a tenancy swap, that's fine, but we're going to have to do a new tenancy agreement at an increased rent if you want it, because that's the only legal way you can do it. Because no landlord is going to want to spend £450 unnecessarily when they're already getting sort of bled dry.
And I don't think it's fair on the landlord.
Well, I mean, 15 years ago, everything was in favour of the landlord. The tenant had no rights. So it's gone completely the other way now, and the tenant has all the rights. I mean, look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I think they've been very heavy because, I think the Conservatives, typically home owners vote Conservative. So, generation rents are now going into their 40s. So they're trying to curtail what the investor can do. They're trying to give properties back to people to buy. But I think moreover, people are would almost rather rent because it gives them more flexibility actually than home ownership. And I mean, for me, I think it's always been, I suppose in England we've always been our home is our castle. So we always have the home ownership, right? People want to own their own home. That's the status point for a lot of people, is to own their own home.
Right. I've got two major questions now, and I'm going to come to Josh in a minute.
I apologise. I think I've digressed from your original question. You got to pull me in. I want to get on a tangent, Bossman, and I'm away. You asked me a question about one thing, and I'm over the other side like a politician. Never typically answer something.
Politics is part of us, so you can't really do away with it. Some of the issues, the tenant fee ban came up, and I was so furious about a whole lot. And
it's crazy. It is crazy, but it's you have to work within the construct that you're given. So just quickly, for instance, landlords, you wouldn't do it in your own name anymore. You would do it in a limited company. Because that gives you back the interest that you would lose for Section 24. But for landlords that are kind of caught in that loop, in order for them to transfer over, they're going to have to pay the stamp duty to do that. But actually, if you've got a landlord that's got maybe 3, 4, 5 properties, and they're doing a lot of the work themselves, it could be considered an occupation, and actually they should be able to transition into a limited company without actually having to pay that stamp duty. I think there's companies out there that handle that. I mean, that's probably where it's at. Yeah.
Super. So if you're a landlord, you're listening to us, it's the Property Hour Show live on Starr Radio UK, and we have the boss himself, the gaffer of First Avenue Real Estate services, and
Which is me, not him.
Oh, which is you, Josh? Okay, I see. Right, and we've been talking about a lot mixed up of things, which has got to do with Tenant Fee Ban and how he started and everything, and it's coming together. But now we get into another level altogether. Now, I don't know if you had the opportunity to listen to the show. Last week.
Unfortunately, I didn't.
I had a very I'll call him honorable gentleman.
Was that the
He's
financial advisor?
Financial advisor. Brilliant, so intelligent. He knows his stuff, and it was good. Now, some of the answers he gave, and also the information he gave us, brilliant. But there's this one that has been still making the airwaves as to myself having texts and questions from other people. Is there any other investment that is that is better than real estate or property?
I would say no.
Seriously?
Yeah, I think real estate is where it's at. Yeah, 100%. Okay, well look,
he argued that there is, and he proved it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, look. Look. I'm always willing to learn.
What was his better? Yeah.
He was talking about stocks and
Of course, he was talking about stocks. He's a financial advisor.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm 16 and I know that.
He gave us some analysis, which, to be quite honest, I was siding with him.
Yeah,
but it made sense because he gave us 25 years of 100,000, and if you're able to save, you're able to put it in stocks and bond and all the shares and bits and pieces, over you getting a mortgage for 25 years, you're better off about 22% better off than getting into property.
Yeah, but that's assuming that everything goes like
the highs
plan,
and lows,
doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm slightly confused. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, look, it's not my.
I'm not.
I mean, look. I I am terrible when it comes to things like this. I'm terrible, right? Because I put like £2,000 into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And it went down, right?
Right.
So, right. Whenever I bought stocks and shares, they've gone down, right? So I think, look, I bought. This is a confessional here, right?
Right.
I bought countrywide shares. They were like 9p or something like that. I thought, I'm going to just get a couple of £1,000 worth. If it goes up, it'd be great. And then it just went down to about like 3 pence.
Oh,
and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to get out of this, even though I've making a loss, because I want to get into Uber. So I went and bought the Uber shares, which of course went down, right, and still below what I paid for them, right, and the countryside stocks shot right up.
Oh my!
And I'm just oh my god!
Did you take everything out of it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah, but this is me. I mean, I did a bit of FX as well, right? I did a bit of FX trading, and again, if I shorted something, it went the other way. If I went long, it went short. So I'm kind of like, for me, I'm kind of like, you know what? I know where I am with property, right? And for me, it's enough, because you can still get. I mean, look, if you get the right, like say for instance, if you like HMOs as a strategy, an HMO strategy can give you, it should be giving you something like 25% ROI on your money. Yeah. But then there's also
return
on investment. So 25%. So if you put 100 grand in, you're going to get £25,000 a year, and after 4 years you've got your 100 grand back, and then after that it's just a cash machine. So for me at the minute, my position is I'm about cash flow.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to cash flow, because I don't want to be, I don't want to be trading my time for money. I want money working for me. And I think that the adage of Wall Street, where it says money never sleeps, I mean, that's completely true. It's always working for you. And with property, it earns money for you while you sleep, especially if you've got tenants. Okay.
But it also comes with a stress. of having to manage that is if you're managing the properties or your property and your tenants as well. So it comes with that stress unless you have in place a management company.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, it depends what your time is worth. How do you value your time? Because, I mean, I would argue, especially these days with the amount of legislation that's in lettings, that you should just give it to a letting agent. I mean, they'll manage it for a very small amount extra a month, typically. But I mean, look, for me, I price everything in with management. So I bought a property for £1. I know we're going to discuss that. Turning it into an HMO, and I'm giving it to an HMO specialist to manage, and I've priced it all in. So yeah, I mean, look, if I managed it myself, I could make an extra £150 a month. But yeah, my time is worth more than that, because my time needs to be spent by finding more investments to increase my cash flow. Because for me, cash flow is the gold standard.
How does that relate to stocks?
Well, it doesn't. I think what we're saying is that I'm terrible with stocks and shares. But for me, cash flow is king, which is why I like property.
But with a stock, then possibly I'll have to introduce you to Sajid, and he's.
Do you know what my view is? I think that
I was blown away. Go on, Josh.
I think that real estate is better than stocks, and I know if he's listening, he's probably going to think, oh, he's a 16-year-old, doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm a financial investor, this many years in the game, I know what I'm all about. But, sorry.
That's mad.
I'll tell you what, you better have an ending to this. A good one.
Real estate is more long-term. You're not going to get the money like in a year, 2 years. Real estate gets you more money in the long term, because if you go into stocks, you can put it in one day, the next day it could go up like that, bang, you've made money. But real estate, that's not going to happen. Real estate, you're not guaranteed profit, but you've got definitely more of a chance than stocks.
Well, I mean, look, I think it could be a good strategy, anyway. and the point is I don't know enough about it. I'll listen to last week's podcast anyway, and have a catch up with did you say Sajid?
Sure, Sajid.
Sajid, yeah, I'll have a catch up because I'm always interested in creative strategies.
Exactly.
Cash flow is what I'm all about, and if you know Grant Cardone, he's about cash flow as well. And I mean, to be fair with you, he offers a lot less than 25%. I mean, he offers 6%. So somewhere between 6 and 9% actually to his investors, which actually is all right if you've got a lot of cash. But for me, I'm just thinking about I'm 47. I'm thinking about
getting old.
Yeah, I am. I am. No, I am. But I'm worried about retiring, and if I sell my business, how much would I get for it, and how long would that money last? And it's that very old adage. I mean, because I didn't really know too much about sort of cash flow strategies until I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, which was only last year, but it changed my life. It just revolutionized the way I think, and all of a sudden I'm just like this new person.
Exactly.
Because I suddenly realized that you don't have to do real estate in the traditional way. You don't have to buy a property and then wait for it to accumulate in value and get like a yield of like between 1% and 3% or something. So it's just washing its face. There's other ways out there to make that cash flow, and ultimately I want passive cash flow. So I've got a couple of strategies rolling at the minute that started to provide me with a passive cash flow already, which I'm really happy about. But I mean, look, I think if you want passive cash flow, it's going to take you longer to achieve it.
Yeah.
Because you're giving away some of that cash flow for someone to manage. That deal for you, but at the same time you get time back to do what you want. So that's the whole point about passive cash flow. It's just like a cash machine. Each month the money just comes in. What are you doing for it? Nothing.
I just see Bitcoin and stocks as gambling, if you will.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because say you make money, you get lucky with your first couple buy-ins. You buy some shares, they do well, they go up. You're like, oh yeah, I'm liking this, I'm making money. So you put some more on. You lose money. But then you're like, oh no, I've lost money, I need to make that back. So you buy more. You lose money again. You want to make that up, so you put more money in. You lose that. And then maybe you'll get some more.
I think.
But that's why I think real estate is better than... Because it gives you, as my dad said, gives you a cash flow.
I think everyone has their own strategy, don't they? I mean,
True,
you've got a strategy, right?
Huh?
I think what you're saying makes
I do,
a
actually.
lot of sense, Josh. And somebody will say real estate is the only real thing.
Hence
Now,
real estate.
but the stocks and shares and bonds are also seen as something unique for the long term, for the long haul. So
What can you get on a bond though? I mean, when I've looked, you can't get more than 3%. So I mean, and with the world of negative interest rates, certainly in Europe, there's people selling bonds at sort of negative amounts, so they're giving money away. You're going to get less back. I don't really understand, but maybe inflation, there's something to do with inflation. But look, that's me. Like I say, I mean, if I spoke to Sajid, I'm sure he would school me pretty good on that strategy. So
Sure.
I'm always open to new strategies and such. I think just for me, I love property. That's my thing.
No,
right. It really excites me.
I think from what Josh said and what you've said, you've mentioned earlier on as well, I think property will fascinate. How should I put it? Like, it will get you going, interact, meet people.
Exactly, we wouldn't have met you if it wasn't for property.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And you wouldn't have met me. So.
Exactly.
My life changed the day I met Mr. Bossman.
So you see, property, you are in the mix of everything. You know what is happening. You get updated. You meet people. You learn new things.
That's great.
Same way.
Yeah.
Stocks and shares. Yeah, you can.
I'd like to be Gordon Gecko. That's like, sitting in my office, just buy low, sell high. Or the other way
Buy
around,
low,
whatever it
sell
is.
high.
I've got my limo outside. I'm off to the squash club.
What was that video?
I'm eating expensive dinners.
Oh yeah, so like, wait, back to when he first started as well. He was a bit of a comedian, weren't you? With his YouTube.
Right. So
he's deleted them now.
Oh, my.
Because I used to take the mickey out of it.
All right.
But, do you know what? Look where he is now, and yeah, I'm proud of you.
Right.
Thanks.
Proud of you.
And
Appreciate it.
okay, so
Even though I take the mick out of you all the time, I'm proud of you.
Paul, let's come to your YouTube, the channel, and also your new adventure, if I can put it that way.
Yeah.
You're making impact. If I'm being honest with you, 5-6 minutes video, but there's a lot to learn. And if you are that serious a person, I believe that you'll be able to pick those nuggets and build with it.
Well, yeah.
How did you come about that?
What, just doing the videos?
Yeah.
Well, look, ultimately, I just wanted to document my journey a little bit. But also, bearing in mind, I own a real estate agent, so I've got over 1,000 landlords, and they're all investors. We register people day in, day out. I mean, we've got like 21,000 people registered when I looked this morning, and they're all people that I would like to be in a position to help. And I kind of feel like, I've got this crazy strategy to try and create £1 million worth of cash flow in a year. I'm just doing the Grant Cardone 10x thing, right? So
to create, let me interrupt you there. Just slow down. Let's rewind. So you've got a strategy to create £1 million cash flow.
Cash flow, yeah. So I want to flow £1 million worth of cash in a year.
It's ambitious, but
it's insane.
But what?
It is insane.
What do you achieve without ambition?
What do you achieve?
Exactly. What do you achieve without ambition?
Without ambition. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Obviously, if I wasn't ambitious, I wouldn't be turning up to these PIN meetings, coming here. Obviously, to see you mainly.
That's my George.
That's the big boss man. When we were at the year of no excuses with Zucci.
Zucci, yeah.
Right, like I said, Bossman's outside. He's asking after you. And he was, oh my God, so I go to see the Bossman. I got up and came straight out to see you. It was like,
Exactly. I don't even do that for him.
That's it. That's
Mum
it.
says dad's I'm like, oh, whatever.
Oh my.
Property royalty.
I'm like, yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But hey,
we'll get off track again.
Yeah. No, I mean, we have to have fun. Come on.
Yeah.
So talking about the cash flow, £1 million pound cash flow.
Yeah, it's insane.
To create that. How difficult is that? Because one of your videos you talked about how to buy a property with £1.
Yes.
and make some good money out of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So that's a strategy called a purchase lease option.
Okay.
Or PLO. Most people know it as lease option agreements.
Right.
And again, it's only a strategy which I was just recently introduced to last year. So since I've kind of got onto the whole sort of property mentorship situation, and I'm listening to people like Simon Zucci and Samuel Leeds. Obviously, I think they're the two sort of big dogs in the industry. They're like your Burger King and your McDonald's, aren't they? Your Coke and your Pepsi. And both have completely different approaches, but both bring something different to the table, which you can use. And they've all got YouTube accounts. And if you watch closely, and you watch enough of what they're doing and they're telling you, and you actually take that what they're telling you, and translate that into take it and translate it into action. You can have serious results. So I kind of went on Samuel Leeds' crash course last year, and I mean, I was amazed because I don't realise, but even though I've been doing property for so long, I was financially illiterate. I don't really understand finance, or I think most of us sit in that camp actually. And like I said, it was only when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad that I realised that. I wish I'd read that book 20 years ago.
There's a lot to do.
But this is why all of a sudden I've got the boy, right? Because I'm just saying to him, he's 16.
Exactly.
Right? He's showing up to the PIN meetings.
That is why I'm so
he's
excited.
Learning the strategies,
exactly.
Right? And he's had a great reception and everything. And he's 16, but by the time he's 18, he's going to have deals, right? He's going to be flowing cash big time, right? So I'm just like, I wish I was that when I was 18.
Exactly.
So I'm late to the party, but so the PLO thing, right? So they talk about how you can go about doing one, and then you go onto YouTube, and like there's a Samuel Leeds video out there. I think it's like rich man helps poor man become financially free, and that video, you see him do a purchase lease option, like right there in front of your eyes, and it's like the light bulb went on for me, and I'm like, okay, that's great. So I can see how the bones of this work, and then Simon Zucci was then talking about his approach, and I kind of like melded the two. And I was up in Darlington because I decided to try and find my patch, and I wanted to cheap property, so stuff that's easy to get into. So I went up to Darlington, and I think I made like 25 bookings over 2 days.
Oh my!
And
25.
Yeah, well, I mean, they always say like, the person that views the most properties wins. Because you're seeing the most. So it's very difficult to compare one property with another unless you've seen, a few.
Yeah.
So the more you see, the easier it is for you to make a decision. I think it was like the last viewing I had on the Saturday, and I met the vendor and we had a look around the property, and I kind of said to her, as the investor, again, it's another thing that Simon Zucci taught or teaches. When I find they say things which I think resonate with me, I write them down. And so literally, I was kind of upstairs. What am I going to say to this lady? I opened up my phone, went to the notes, and I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to say. So I came downstairs and I said to her, look, what's the as an investor, what's the least amount of money you'll take for this property and still feel comfortable doing the deal?
Yeah.
So she said, oh, well, property's on for 62,000. And I was like, I said to her, look, I'm sorry, but your agent's got it on for 60. So we're already on the wrong foot there. So she was kind of obviously a bit disheartened. Yeah, good choice of words. And
the best radio show.
The house wasn't in the best condition. It wasn't in show condition. And it turned out that she'd been divorced, and she didn't want to. She brought her husband out. Wanted to just get rid of the property because she'd moved on with her life, and the winter was upon us, and she was having the council tax and the heating bills and the electricity and just the upkeep of the property. So it was putting a financial strain on her.
All the bills have become hills.
Yeah, bills to hills. I like it. I like that. That's a good one. I'm going to write that down. Can you remember that?
To hill.
Bills to hills. I like that. So she was in the spot. I said to her, look. I said, right, okay. So I had a quick look at my phone. what was I going to say? And I just said, look, there might be another way if you're interested. So she said, okay, well, what is it? I said, well, look, it's called a lease option agreement. It's where, we would agree a price for your property today, but I would pay you in 5 years' time, and then for that 5 years, I will rent the property back off you and pay your mortgage and your building insurance instead. So in essence, you can walk away. I'll pay your legal fees as well as my own, and it'll take about 2 to 3 months to do. And you're basically, as soon as that's done, you're finished. I mean, she didn't have a lot of, she doesn't really have any equity in the property anyway, so it wasn't really an issue for her. She just wanted to get rid of those hills. Yeah. Right? So I couldn't believe it. I'd done this, made an agreement, and then I went and looked at the numbers, and the numbers looked good. And I mean, initially I got back to her. Right. I got back to her, and she was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So I went back to London, and then I was like, oh my God, I've got this lease option agreement. What do I do? So then you're back on YouTube and you're looking at like whatever, and then you got to try and find a solicitor that does it, which actually is really impossible, because the people that know how to do it don't want to tell you who they're using for solicitors, because there is literally no one in the UK that does it. When I say no one, I mean, look, there's like a handful. So ultimately, with a lot of furious Googling, I managed to find someone that could do the deal, and then I went back up the following weekend, and we just 2 pieces of blank paper, wrote out heads of terms what we were going to agree, and then went back to London and sent it to the solicitors. So we've completed on that now, and I'm now obviously just dealing with contractors, getting the place. I've got to get fire doors and such put in. So ultimately, although it did cost me £1, it cost me £2,100 in legal fees, and I got £3,500 in light refurb renovation costs, and then I've got to put some furniture in, which actually I'm just going to get one of these the furniture companies that lease it out. Right. So and they'll come and fill the place up for me anyway, and it bites into your monthly again, but ultimately that's fine. So that's that. So the quest for cash flow does require cash in. But that's only half the story, because one of the other things you might not be aware of is I also tried doing serviced accommodation. SA.
HMO.
Well, not HMO, but although we're working, that's another one we're working on. So service accommodation, because actually you can do really well with that, and this is where my passive income is starting to come in, because I'm kind of deal sourcing rent to SAs, and actually a really good way to, I don't think anyone knows this has got to be an exclusive, because whenever I tell anyone about this, they have like no clue. So I didn't know you could do that. But so what I'm doing is, because I went out, and it just took me ages to get like my first SA, because there's a lot that you've got to do with SA. There's a lot of moving parts with it, and it's wildly complicated, because if you're going to have someone manage it, you need things like, first of all, you've got to get the agreement from the landlords. Then you don't want to upset the residents, and if you're looking in places like London, you've got the 90-day rule. But also the issue is access with keys, right? Because you don't want to be meeting the tenants at God knows whatever time. So then you've got to start looking for places where a key box can go on a railing or something like that. So actually, if you walk around one of the 100-odd garden squares in the borough of Kensington, Chelsea, you'll see, it's amazing how many key boxes you see, right? So you have that. So I'd spent weeks looking at properties and working out the cash flow, and actually, they cash flow quite nicely. You could be looking at sort of £800 to £1,000 a month, and I found one, and we just kind of progressed it. But again, stupidly, this is me, right? January, worst time of the year to be doing SA, right? So of course I'm freaking out, because the company I've given it to hadn't made any bookings, and I'm thinking, right, well, this SA is costing me like £2,900 a month. Where's my money at? So I'm on the phone saying, where's my bookings? And they weren't really coming back to me. So I was kind of like, well, this can't be right, because I'm paying them a ridiculous amount of money to do my SA. So what it is, out of desperation, I went out and found a company that does HMO, one of London's largest HMO specialists that rent rooms out, and I asked them if they wanted to take the property, because of course it was new build, so it's got the fire doors, the interlinked fire system and all that, so it's kind of furnished, turnkey, ready to go.
Yeah.
And I rented that out to them for 3,550. So what happened was I rented it to them for 3,550, and then I give 2,900 to the landlord.
Yeah.
And then I get 650, and there's my cash flow.
Yeah.
There's my passive cash flow.
And that's all from going out and looking.
Yeah,
And
so
being dedicated.
So that's £7,200 a year. It's a 6-year deal. So £7,000 times 6 is. Come on, you're the quantity. How much is that?
Well over 40 something. What? 50?
Just over 40. Yeah.
That's 40.
Just over 40.
Oh, that's 40 grand for nothing.
Way more than that. But that's a good strategy.
So I've repeated that twice more now. Already. I mean, look, I haven't actually done any videos about that yet because I've been too tied up with other things.
Yeah.
But we'll
what's
get
that?
we'll
6
get
years
to that.
about over 100 grand?
I don't know. It's seven grand times 6. But I mean, look, if it renews, then
Is it 6 years?
6 years.
Wow.
So what's
7 times
That's
6.
43k.
yeah.
So just
Yeah.
over 40.
But
Times that by 3.
for Zip. So about
Just over
120k for basically just putting 3 deals
Actually,
together.
basically 130. 1k under.
Super.
Yeah.
We just running over our time, but then hey, there's more
so much to talk about, Bossman.
There's so much to talk about. I believe we've got to have a part 2, which basically we can go into. I wanted to talk about Canada. Oh my.
We can come back.
Yeah,
we can come back. It's all right.
We have to talk about Canada. We have to talk about the videos, because some of them are quite detailed, and I was listening. I watched one of the videos, and I put my hands on my head and I said, "Why is Paul doing this? Because you're giving so much out that people pay thousands for."
Well, I mean, look, it's kind of like, look, it's seeing it done and doing it are two completely different things. You know, it's a bit like
You don't watch someone do a backflip on a scooter or a bike and then go out and be, oh yeah, I can do that. It's easy as that.
Yeah.
You have to. It's dedication, practice.
Practice.
You know,
take action.
Exactly.
Exactly, taking action. But yeah, a lot of people, they're scared of being told no. You know, and I think that's that. I mean, this one here, this guy here, 16, right? If I tell him no, he's back. He's back 2 minutes later, right?
Happen.
Right? And if I tell him no again,
no
he's relentless. And at what point in our lives do we transition from not taking no to being scared of hearing no?
But you know what I see it as? Like, I know you call me annoying sometimes, but that's kind of like, that's how you get stuff done.
But he gets what he wants, right? So I mean, you know, it's just
I don't care. I don't care how it happens. I get what I want.
Totally. I mean, he wants a trick scooter at the minute. I mean, I keep saying no, but I mean, I know I'm going to give in at some point because he's going to want it. No.
Yeah.
But it is its persistence.
Bossman, what do you think? Do you think he should get me a trick scooter?
What do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does want a trick scooter. I'm sure he'll get it, but he's going to. But I'm just saying he's got to work for it, right? He's got to. You know, he's got to.
I do 100% agree for you to work for it.
Exactly.
He's got to create some passive cash flow.
That'll get you to be a bit more like in quote responsible for it.
I said he's got to get some passive cash flow because. Because you know, again, I'm trying to teach him about good debt, bad debt. You know,
to be fair, if it wasn't for me though, he'd be all up his head in his maths. He can't do maths for his life. He has to ask me to.
Actually, he does come along and verify my maths.
Oh, good.
So actually, I mean, because he is like, he's a really good numbers guy. So if I've worked something out on a spreadsheet,
that scooter, because
I'll get him to double check it because he knows he's much better at maths than I am.
Super. Right. Okay. We've gone almost about 12 minutes over the time, but hey. It's a good talk, and my main issue is that I wanted us to talk about the lease option, the purchase lease option, which you've broken it down in simple terms, and you can't go wrong with that.
If people want to talk to me about that, I'm on the LinkedIn. Just hit me up on LinkedIn with a message.
Okay.
And I'll happily talk to someone about it.
Want you to leave your details out if you LinkedIn or whatever
And
details you want.
I'm sure we'll be back.
Yeah, definitely. Come on. You're coming
sure
back.
we'll be back.
No, you're coming back. You're coming back. So, Paul, if you want to leave your details and how people can contact you.
What do you want? You just want me to just say it?
Do what he did at the start.
Yeah.
Blurb it all out. You got it. Go on.
Well, I'm not going to give my mobile out, straight away. But
I mean,
people can reach me. Would you want me to say my email?
Do you want mobile or social media? What?
Just look. People can hit me up on my email, which is it's paul.endacott@firstavenue.co.uk. But that's so my surname is Endacott. And First Avenue is numeric 1, so it's 1stavenue.co.uk. But again, if you can't find me, right, because you can't spell my surname, many people can't. I'm on the LinkedIn.
Right, Paul Endacott.
Yeah, Endacott.
Yeah.
So
there we go. But beautiful people, thanks for listening.
Super.
Thanks for having me on your show, Bossman.
My pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a real delight to come in.
We are excited, and I can't wait for us to have the second one, because there are some bits and pieces that we've not tackled, that we've not talked about, but I believe that our second show will be more explosive as well. Josh.
Most of it was just him waffling.
Well, yeah, thanks for
waffling on.
No, but it's been great. It's been great, and
I need to do one by
Paul and
myself
Josh
at some point.
Coming in.
I need to do one by myself at some point. He's stealing all the limelight.
He'd written some notes down there, expecting some questions.
Oh my dear!
about his strategy.
No, I was going to ask you about your strategy, though.
We'll do that another time.
All right, sure.
Right, that's
fine. Okay.
That's leave
the
viewers wanting.
Yeah, that's the.
Leave them guessing. Makes them come back another time.
This is like the season finale. Yeah.
We've got the young entrepreneur, that's Josh Endacott, saying that he's coming back for the second time. So guys, watch out, be on the lookout, and make a date with us. We're coming back bigger than better than ever before.
Who doesn't want to date with me? Valentine's is coming up.
We have loads and loads of people watching us across. On
how many have we got?
Facebook.
How many people watching this?
To be quite honest, I have to. When we finish, I'll be able to see it.
So I can see. I can look at the number here in front of me. Says 8,722 on this number here.
On which number?
I'm on the phone. It's not really. Doesn't mean so. There's no number there at all. Right. I'm just trying to say. Look, I know that it says that the Facebook counter above Bossman's head that no one can see. It says 87,000 viewers tuned in right now.
Right. Okay. So it's been a good night, great night. Information and so much education. Resilience is the word. To endure, I believe it's part of life, and also have that ambition. Be resolute that you can make it. There's nobody that has worked hard and their sweat has drawn them. You will never be drawn. Drowning, let me put it that way. You will never be drowned in your own sweat when you work hard. You will never. So you've got to work hard. Paul has done it for 15 years and counting. Josh is coming up, and I am so excited about him. In 2 years, watch out for this guy. He's going to be bigger and be even better than some elites. Trust me. You can write this down.
Yeah, no, right.
Yeah.
Come in.
And
it's called for some love. It's called for some love. Yeah.
You can't see it. So I need to get a picture of this. Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live.
There we go.
He's my man. That's Josh Endacott, the young entrepreneur, 16-year-old man. Are you a man or boy?
Actually, on Facebook, I identify as an Apache attack helicopter.
So
watch out for that one.
So Josh is a young entrepreneur that is going to take over from Paul. Watch out for him. He is going to be bigger and better than, I can say this on air globally, that he's going to be bigger and better than some elites. Watch out. Samo, if you ever get to watch this video, this man, watch out for him. At 18, he's going to be commanding some serious
the
stuff.
Prophecy, the prophecy has been written.
It's coming. It's written. It's written. What is written is written. So thank you for watching us.
Thank you, everybody.
The podcast should be ready in the next 10-15 minutes, but possibly it's going to be edited. My producer is watching me, so I have to wrap up now. And thank you so much, Paul, and the court,
Thank you for having me.
My one and only vibrant, the next big shot in the guru. In property coming up.
The property guru.
The property guru.
That's going to be my slogan. That's going to be my slogan now.
property guru.
And
like the property guru.
What keeps on amazing. I mean, what is amazing about Josh is that he's so determined and focused, and he comes to our pain meetings where all the big guys have gathered and listening, and he shows up and say, "I'm a 16-year-old." Boy still in secondary school, and I am interested in property. So thank you, Josh, for coming.
Thank you, Bossman.
Yeah, so
All
excited.
right.
And,
We're gonna clap it out.
and Paul, thank you for coming.
Yeah,
I believe
it's been a
that
pleasure.
we're gonna put another date together, and we're gonna do a second blast, and we're going places. Thank you
Thank you
much.
so much for having me on the show. It's been awesome.
Thank you.
Majestic.
Thank you, and super. So thank you for watching us once again on the Property Hour Show. This has been your one and only KBA Bossman. I am privileged to be your host, and I'm missing my co-host, Mrs. Vicky Newton. Your birthday is tonight. Is it today or tonight or tomorrow night or midnight? Wherever you are, Vicky, you have some answers to give me when you come next week. Anyway, I know
Happy
you.
birthday.
I know you are with a hobby. So enjoy. Have a great day, a great night, and have fun with the family. Thank you. God bless. No stress, nothing less. Next week, same time, another big shot is coming in, and it's going to be bigger. Watch out on the social media, and we will be keeping you informed. Thank you, and good night. Stay tuned to Starr.
This is who you are. You are the lights.
Mama's Choice Fufu Mix.
Mama's Choice is the best kept fufu secret in Ghana. It's made with all natural ingredients, and vitamins and minerals are added to it. A fearful for pepepe, people love it. For dear, and one Mama's Choice. A fearful for pepepe.
Charlie, where the fast?
Me want for dear men walk. Fufu na head they say. Mama's Choice. Ube disa.
Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. Ube desire. Mama's Choice Fufu Mix.
Mama's Choice is the best kept fufu secret in Ghana. It's made with all natural ingredients, and vitamins and minerals are added to it. A fearful for pepepe, people love it. For dear, and one Mama's Choice. A fearful for pepepe.
Charlie, where the fast?
Me want for dear men walk. Fufu na head they say. Mama's Choice. Ube disa.
Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. Ube desire. Mama's Choice Fufu Mix.
Mama's Choice is the best kept fufu secret in Ghana. It's made with all natural ingredients, and vitamins and minerals are added to it. A fearful for pepepe, people love it. For dear, and one Mama's Choice. A fearful for pepepe.
Charlie, where the fast?
Me want for dear men walk. Fufu na head they say. Mama's Choice. Ube disa.